Hi, this is Lamar from Blue Haired Fitness, and today we're going to find out whether or not walking targets belly fat. If you're over 50 and need to lose a massive amount of weight, like 50 pounds or more, this is the channel for you. Please subscribe. So let's get into it. I noticed my extremities and face were thinning out before I saw a reduction in midsection fat, so I thought you lose subcutaneous fat first. I was wrong. Visceral fat, the stuff around your organs, gets targeted first. Subcutaneous fat is the stuff you see and feel, like when your aunt pinches the cheeks of a baby. Visceral fat is bad. I don't mean evil, but it's the stuff your doctor warns you about. When you start walking and create sustained caloric deficits, your body actually targets visceral fat first, mobilizing it for energy before subcutaneous fat. The visceral fat gets consumed fastest early on, and then it levels off while subcutaneous fat keeps grinding away. Your belly happens to have both visceral fat around the organs and subcutaneous fat, a double whammy, so to speak. Over the weeks, it appears that your belly fat burns off more slowly. However, it's a trick of timing and supply. Your extremities are organ free. The fat you burn there is subcutaneous. Your midsection has both, and reducing both is the only way to reduce total midsection fat volume. I thought what I was seeing was a preference for fat from my extremities. What I observed was something completely different. At least I know now why the midsection takes so long. There are two types of fat to burn. A few reasons the visual effect is muted. Visceral fat sits deep, wrapped around and between your organs, inside the abdominal wall. Subcutaneous fat sits right underneath the skin, outside the muscle wall. A given volume of visceral fat lost changes the internal packing of the abdominal cavity. A given volume of subcutaneous fat lost changes the outer contour directly, right where your eyes and your hands are. The same volume has different visceral leverage because one is closer to the surface than the other. And there's also a floor effect. Losing visceral fat can let the abdominal wall sit flatter, so there's less pressure pushing out. But you can go from bloated visceral fat pushing everything out to flat wall, no more push, without a corresponding drop in the pinchable layer sitting on top of that wall. So the belly can look and feel firmer and flatter while still carrying a full layer of visible fat, because the two layers are stacked, not blended. The idea that visceral fat is targeted first is not unanimous in the literature. One review polling 89 studies found that in humans, visceral and subcutaneous fat are tightly linked, moving together rather than on opposite timelines. Either way, there are multiple mechanisms at work, and most studies agree that visceral fat is sequenced first. Don't let that stop you. Losing fat either way is better than the alternative. If you need a guide, a personal guide on your fitness journey from where you are to where you want to be, click the link included in the description, book a call, and let's get started.